I'm rediscovering who I've always been. Your image is the truth within. My pain don't define me. My scars don't decide me. I'm rising back to your design, perfectly made by your hand divine.
Hey y'all, hey, what's up? It's your girl T, and that is right. We are back. Sorry about the live last week. All types of things were going on. So I was unable to do that, but I appreciate your understanding and checking in and all the things. But today we are back with our August reset tea time chat with T. Okay. And we are talking about what has been going on throughout the week. All right. What has been going on throughout our reset, so on and so forth. So if anybody is interested in jumping on, feel free to jump on. You are definitely more than welcome to do so. Let me get you that link. It is in the description, but I'm going to put it in the chat as well. So give me 1 second while I do that. Team of one here, so we trying to figure it out. All right, there you go. All right, and good mid evening. How are you? So that is in the chat. Hopefully you guys got it. So if you want to jump on, feel free to do that. So we are approaching week 4. So we started week 4 on I believe it was Sunday. I'm sorry, on yesterday. We started week 4, and so week 4 is rise. So we are talking today and throughout the week about resetting your life. We have talked about resetting your mind. We have talked about resetting your heart and your relationships. We have talked about resetting your body. And this week, we're going to talk about resetting your life. All right. So somebody say, reset your life. All right. Forgetting what is behind, I press on. That is Philippians 3:13 through 14. Sometimes we take so much time thinking about what has happened in the past that we don't take time to figure out where we're going. Like what's really going on. Let's reset. We can't live in the past. The past happened, but we can't live there. All right. So welcome to week 4. Can I tell you something? Look how far you have come. I'm so excited. Pat yourself on the back. You took time to reflect, you took time to release what was weighing you down, and you restored healthier rhythms, which is what we did last week. Now it's time to rise. Somebody type in the chat, rise. Not by becoming someone different, but by living more fully as the person God created you to be. Purpose isn't something that you stumble upon. It is something you choose through your daily decisions. So we have talked about purpose a whole lot. We've been talking about I'm not purpose. Well, we've been talking about purpose, but we've been talking about choosing a whole lot. My apologies. We've been talking about choosing what we do. We've been talking about making healthier choices, choosing to recover, choosing to forgive, choosing to let go of resentment, choosing to release shame. So it really is a choice. This week is about living intentionally. All right. Choosing courage over comfort, building healthy consistency, and creating a vision for your future and believing that your best days aren't behind you, but they're still being written. So this week's intention is simple. I will live intentionally, courageously, and faithfully. I will live intentionally, courageously, and faithfully. And so this week, you'll explore values, you'll explore vision. We've already talked about values. We talked about you writing down your values yesterday. We talked about writing down the vision on today. We'll talk about courage, consistency, purpose, and growth. Okay. So I want to take some time. We talked about a few weeks ago, because like I said, I didn't get on here last week, but a few weeks ago, we talked a little bit about guilt and shame and resentment and things of that nature. And so there was a day, I want to say it was 2 weeks ago, and I was just minding my business, chilling, right? And so there were some things that were going on and some things that were said. And I realized that um, I still had resentment. Now, I did not have resentment towards anybody. I'm not bitter with anybody. I'm not angry with anybody. I'm not, secretly plotting anybody's downfall or anything like that. But there was some resentment towards myself. Let me tell you what I mean. So there was some resentment towards myself in the fact that there had been some things that were told to me in the past. And sometimes when people speak over you, you begin to follow that thing. You begin to live that thing out. And that is what I had done in the past. And so as I was living that thing out, it, shifted my thoughts, it shifted the way that I carried myself. And once I realized it, I shifted back. I was able to heal from it. I shifted back. I was able to forgive the individuals, things of that nature. But I don't know if I had truly forgiven myself. I was still struggling with myself. So I was walking one morning and I just really felt this calm and said, you know what? You don't have resentment towards other people, but you are still holding yourself hostage for some of your previous decisions, for some of the things that you had done when you were younger or thought or said. And today is the day that you need to release it and allow yourself to move forward. You're not what they said you were. All right. So you can rest assured that, and you are who God created you to be. So there was this aha moment that I had as I was walking after I do the reset. And that's one of the things that I love about the resets are God always speaks to me in them. I do them with you. I have my workbook. I'm not just coming on here giving you all things, but I'm also resetting myself. Okay. One of the things that I also looked at was there was guilt and shame. We talked about guilt and shame and how guilt is, when you have done something wrong or something that you feel guilty about, it can come to it can come to help you essentially. It can come to help you to say, wow, I did this. I don't feel good about it. Let me shift. It's when we begin to hold on to that guilt that it becomes shame, right? And then when it becomes shame, we begin to hide. And so I want to challenge you on today if there's something that was has been going on in your life or something that you have felt guilty about, understand that you are not your mistake. You are not your decisions. Now, if we continue to make those decisions, then we can become those decisions, right? Remember the watch your thoughts, right? It becomes your character and your destiny if you don't shift. But if you do shift, then you're able to overcome. So I want us to make sure that we are not focused there, that we are not parking and living in shame. Rather, we're saying, okay, I might have done something and now I can shift and I can move from that. All right. Um, we talked about getting our bodies together. Okay. This is something that I think is a challenge for us. Because when we think of getting our bodies together, we often think of just going to the gym or maybe changing the way that we eat. But there's so much more than that. We cannot just change the way we eat and not change the way we think. I'm gonna say that again. We can't just change the way we eat and not change the way we think. We have to change the way we think. We have to make sure that we are renewing our minds, not just our bodies. Okay. So I want to hear I know that everybody has things to do, but if you have anything that has been working for you, if you have anything that is like, oh wow, I really enjoyed this, or I really liked or I didn't understand this part. What did you mean when you said XYZ? I want you to you could either drop it in the chat, you can send me a message, however you want to do it, but I want you to think about what has worked for you in these 4 weeks. So let's go back real quick. I want to go back to the beginning. We talked again about week 1 was reflect. We talked about resetting our minds and we looked at gratitude. We looked at our self-talk, how we talk to ourselves. We looked at our thought patterns, mindsets, emotional awareness, and perspective. Okay. And then week 2 was a release. We talked about resetting your heart and your relationships. We looked at boundaries. How are we doing with those boundaries? We looked at forgiveness. We talked about communication, expectations, people pleasing, and emotional freedom. Okay. And then week 3 was restore. We talked about resetting our bodies. We talked about sleep, rest. How many of you know that sleep and rest are 2 different things? You can go to sleep and still not get good rest. That is why sometimes you go to sleep and you wake up tired because your mind is racing all night long. So we talked about creating good, healthy sleep hygiene rhythms. Okay. Um, Turning the TV off, turning the phone off, putting it down, things of that nature. Nutrition, movement, stress, and self care. There's that word self care again and again. This week so far, we talked about values and visions, and tomorrow we'll talk a little bit more about. Let me see, what is our topic tomorrow? I think it's courage. Yep, courage over comfort. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about courage over comfort. So you guys know that I'm not here to hold you too long. I just wanted to take some time to say I appreciate you all. I hope that you guys have an awesome and amazing week, an awesome and amazing day. And if you have any thoughts or anything that you would like to tell me about your reset, I would love to hear it. I want to put this up on the screen because we are having a tea time event. Let me remove this banner so you can see it well. We're having a tea time event this coming Saturday for all of those individuals that are in Hampton Roads. You still have a couple more days to register. Registration will end on the 26th at midnight. That is Wednesday, the 26th at midnight. You will no longer be able to register. Okay. So if you would like to come, there is the QR code right there. You will get a T-shirt and a great experience. It is a sip and paint. Well, we're not sipping any alcohol, y'all. So if that's what you're looking for, that's the wrong event. But we're gonna sip and paint and just have an inspired experience. It's gonna be an awesome time. I'm excited about it. If you would like to purchase a book, there is still time. You can purchase it through Cash App. Send me your email, or you can get a hard copy. It is a decent sized book with some awesome, awesome tools because you can do the August reset not just in August, but in any month that you want to do it. All right. So there's so much more that is coming to the table that we are looking at. I hope that you guys have an awesome and amazing day. Um, I think I'm going to be getting on here soon in the near future because I want to talk a little bit about some woman stuff, how we conduct ourselves as ladies. Sorry, my stuff is acting crazy. How we go about who we are. I don't know what's happening right now. Let me remove that from the stage. There we go. But yeah, about how we conduct ourselves because I've been seeing some. I don't typically do reaction videos and things of that nature, but I've been seeing some videos and it's disheartening how we as ladies conduct ourselves sometimes. And that might not be for you, but it may be for somebody that you know. It's disheartening how we respond and things of that nature. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about that. We'll probably have another PDM boot camp coming soon. And then that's about it. I think that after this August reset, I think we're going to be pausing for a little while. I'll have more information about that next week. I hope that you guys have an awesome and amazing day, an awesome and amazing week. And don't forget to drop your comments in the comment section about how you feel about the reset. Hope, all right, TG out.
My scars don't decide me. I'm rising back to your design, perfectly made by your hand divine. I'm not becoming, I'm remaining.